Hi folks, Mike from Turfmen UK here. Today I'm going to go through a little video on how we would set up a cutting cylinder to cut our bowling green. Today I'm using a Dennis machine, which is probably one of the most popular that's used on bowling greens at the moment, because it has a cassette system, so obviously you can buy 3 or 4 different cassettes and it becomes a multi-use machine. So the tools I'll need to set the machine up are a setting bar, some cutting paper to check the quality of cut, and a couple of adjustable spanners just for locking nuts and other parts on the unit. So the method of adjusting these units are: on the Dennis machine here we've got 2 adjusters, obviously as you can see by the decals there: off cut, on cut. Obviously on cut you bring the cylinder down towards the bottom blade, off cut you lift it up. Now with these there are 2 locking nuts. These shouldn't be too tight, they're just tight enough just to nip to keep the adjusters in place. Once they're loose, then obviously the adjusters are free to go up and down. So for setting quality of cut, I use a piece of paper and hopefully cut one side and fold the other, and as you can see at the moment it's doing neither of these. So the way to adjust it is to adjust each one just a little turn at a time until you feel that you're getting some kind of cut. We're still a long way off there. It takes a bit of time to do. Obviously the more you do it, the more experience, the easier it becomes. So see there, we're still folding but we aren't cutting, so we need to adjust a little bit more. See where we go there. Just starting to fold there now on this side, and just starting there. You can usually tell by the sound of the cylinder as to whether it's anywhere near cut. Just keep going. I know it's not great unit at the moment, but you can see there it's just starting to nip the paper. Now I can be accused of being a bit anal about these. You can see there it's just cut that now and it's folded the other half, so we're not far off getting where we need to be. Bit more there. That's a little bit tighter, so obviously you adjust each side. And you can always tell when I've been sharpening the units, because they always say that they're full of bits of paper. So once you get an old piece, you just keep getting more. So there again, that's a double one, so that should be. And as you can see there, we're just starting to fold the paper, so we're not far off now. It's just a case of fine tuning those units. Now these adjusters, and as you can tell, we've no sound from the cylinder, so we haven't got contact cylinder to cylinder. See there, it's just about on its way now. Folding that side, folding that side. So we're getting now, and now it's just a case of fine tuning that so that you are actually starting to cut. So you can see there, it's actually cutting the paper on one end and folding on the other. Now you can tell now by the sound, I can tell by the sound there, if you can just hear that. Maybe difficult with this wind, but you can just tell we're getting somewhere near now where we need to be. So that's cutting that side. Just knock it off a little bit now, we don't want it too tight. There we go. Just a little bit more adjustment there. And as you can see there, now we've got it cutting paper right along. There we go. So we're cutting there, cutting there. You see, it's cut one half and it's folded the other. And as you can tell by the sound of the unit, we haven't got a great deal of contact. So obviously, if we can keep that contact to a minimum, we're reducing the wear on the cylinder, reducing the wear on the bottom blade, we're reducing the wear on the bearings as well. So the next thing to do is just adjust the locking nuts, tighten those up. Okay, just a little tight, just a little nip there, and a little nip in there, and we're ready to go. So now we've got the unit set up and it's cutting the paper perfectly. All that's now left is to put it into the machine, set the height to cut, and then we know that we're good to go for the start of the season. To set the height to cut, use a setting bar. Some people use a tape measure to set the height to cut, which is fine. Personally, I like to use an Allen key, because then I know that it's set exactly as I want it. So at the moment I'm setting this for 6mm, so I've got a 6mm Allen key, got my setting bar. You undo the nut, screw the screw in, and as you can see here, you just basically adjust that until the Allen key fits in there. So as you can see there, that's now at 6mm. So there we are, that's ready to go. Put the unit in. Basically with this machine, you just slide on the pins there, slide the unit in. There are some lugs here that it slides into, so line those up, set that, tighten the screw, and so it makes sure it doesn't rattle about. As you can see, we've got various bits of paper in, so whoever's cutting the green next knows that the machine's set and ready to go. And then the setting bar, the height of cut is the same as pretty much on the cylinder unit. You've got to lower the height of cut is to clockwise, and to raise the height of cut anti-clockwise. So basically you get your setting bar. If you maybe just want to come around the pit, you can see the setting bar fits on the back roller there, and as you can see that screw should fit under the bottom blade. So obviously we're a bit far off here, so these need adjusting quite a bit. Just wind them down. It doesn't really matter how far you go, because obviously you need a bit of fine adjustment by the end. Same again, setting bar on the back roller, still got a little bit to go yet. There we go. As you can see there, the screw is just underneath the bottom blade. You see there. So now we know that that's maybe just a bit slack. So same again, just adjust it anti-clockwise, and the bottom blade, the nut should just fit, sorry, the screw head should just fit on the bottom blade there. So maybe just slightly, these are good, just a slight adjustment there, one click, and as you can see there, that's sliding underneath the bottom blade. That side, and the thing, just check the middle as well. Yeah, so there we are, cylinder set for quality of cut, machine set for height of cut, and we're good to go.